This program is brought to you by freekeen.com.
I am audio and video recording right now.
Cautious maneuvering outside U.S. District Court in Concord, New Hampshire.
Oh, wonderful. It's bad weather to do that.
Let's see, we have more than one thing going on now.
I know. You got.
So are you trying to block me from getting pictures?
I'm saying it's kind of cloudy.
The controversial convoy leaves the building.
This is the van carrying the Browns, apparently. It had Stratford on it.
Inside these jails on wheels, two rebellious tax protesters. We think. Ed and Elaine Brown of Plainfield led an 8-month-long non-standoff against U.S. Marshals. And all this week they are continuing to pay the price. Their second trial began on June 28th. And authorities seek to keep them locked up until death. Their first trial centered on the refusal to pay federal income taxes and victimless violations of obscure federal laws. This trial seeks to punish them for actions committed during the standoff itself. I'd like to let you know a little bit more about the conduct of the one day of the trial that I have attended. Here's what I saw on the second day of the proceedings, June 30th. When I walked in around 9:45 a.m., Arnold Huftalen, a U.S. prosecutor, was near the beginning of his opening presentation to jurors. Huftalen is a tall, professional-looking, and very effective attorney, I believe. He gave a soft-spoken and subdued presentation to the jury, which was nevertheless compelling to hear. After listening to him for roughly 45 minutes, well, maybe more like 30 minutes, I was unable to detect any clear factual errors. He gave a broad picture of the 2007 standoff, which nevertheless contained many details. In describing events of the first half of 2007, he said, quote, "What had started as a peaceful tax protest was turning into something else," unquote. He said the Brown residence was turning into a sort of training camp. He said, quote, "This is not about the Second Amendment," unquote. However, he went on to say things that seemed to indicate a discomfort with the idea of guns being in the hands of civilians. Speaking to the jury regarding weapons that the Browns possessed, he said, quote, "Some of you may be familiar with firearms. Most of you probably aren't," unquote. He went on to describe in shocked tones the types and calibers of weapons possessed by the Browns during the standoff. He discussed a federal paramilitary group known as s.o.g, an organization designed, he said, quote, "to do things that need to get done," unquote. He discussed s.o.g's siege of the Brown home. Although siege may not be the best word, it was intermittent at best. He said s.o.g and the marshals wanted to arrest Ed, quote, "non-violently," unquote. Federal misuse of the term non-violently will come up again in continuing coverage of this trial. But it's safe to say the authorities did not want to kill Ed. And Huftalen went on to describe in compelling detail the alleged lengths that s.o.g operatives went to avoid shooting Ed with live rounds. You'll hear more about this in future reports as I'm able to crank them out. That's what I have for you as of July 1st, 2009. It's Dave Ridley signing off for RidleyReport.com.
This program is brought to you by freekeen.com. Freekeen.com features audio, video, and blogs chronicling the transition to a voluntary society. Freekeen.com also has comments and discussion forums so you can be heard. Freekeen.com.